Hello, my name is Klana Lee. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to learn some of the basic controls in the Radiant engine. In this engine, you will use to make your very own custom zombie map. Right now, I have the basic default layout of what you get when you load up your own zombie map. So some of the basic controls that I will show you is, like, for example, moving the camera around is not what you think it is. Use from commonly known 3D engines that like Unity and like Unreal. Those ones, when you move around the level of a 3D in a 3D when you're making a 3D level, when moving the camera around, it's usually WASD. In this case, you can't do that. To move the camera around with just a mouse and keyboard, you will have to press down on the right mouse button and hold it to move the camera's position, as you can see. Now, if you wanted to change the angle of where the camera is looking at, you would hold down left shift and control, left shift first, then control, then the right mouse button, and that will allow you to change the angle of where the camera's looking at. So that's how it is for a mouse and keyboard. To make it a whole lot easier, and it was a lot easier for me, is that, and what I highly recommend you to do is get a controller and plug it into your computer, and then you can move around the engine a lot more freely, and you can also look around at the same time. So it feels a lot easier for me. And if you would prefer just to use mouse and keyboard, then that's completely up to you. It's still fine either way. You can still move the camera around and look around your level. So that is one of the basic controls for moving the camera around. Now, if you wanted to, let's say, make an object, you can make an object moving on to this screen, this tab right here in the middle, labeled XY top. So this will give you a top-down view of what your level looks like. You can also get different angles. So make sure you're still selected in this box right here. You will press Control Tab. Now change the angle from where you will look at. It won't change where your camera is looking at. It will just show you what your level looks like from this side, from this view. So press Control, and you can tell which view you're in by looking in the top left right here. It says XZ front. So you're looking at from that angle. Now press hold Control and press Tab. That'll show the YZ side. Now press Control Tab again. You're back to XY top. So top down view of your level. So in order for you to start making like buildings and objects and shapes, they are not simply models that you can just put in already of a certain shape. You have to create that shape. For example, like a square, let's say, or a prism. So what you do is that let's move to open part of the map. So as you can see, I am using the XY tops tab right here. Now you see this little diamond with a V connected to it. That is showing where your camera is looking at. Doesn't show what angle the camera is at. This shows the general direction where it's looking at. So we're looking here. We're gonna create a shape like a square. Okay, try to make it a perfect square. There you go. So what I did just there, oh, still not a perfect square. Okay. Alright, there you go. So, that little bit, yeah, a little bit right there. There you go. So what I did right there was I would create an object. So you can see it's pretty tall, but you can't see it from here because right now we're just getting a top-down view of what it looks like. So if you want to select an object like the one we created right now, the shape we created, you would hold shift and click on it. That will allow you to select an item. You can't simply just go to an object. So we deselect it. You can't just left mouse click on it and it will select it. It doesn't do that. Hold shift and click and that'll allow you to select a certain an object. Now you want to deselect it, you just press escape. If you want to delete this object, don't press delete. Surprisingly, delete does not delete your object. Backspace does. So you press backspace, object's gone. Now can bring it back, Control Z. So if you do press delete, it won't like bug out your level or anything. So as you can see on XY top right here, it would just show, it would just zoom in to like zoom in more into your level from in this window right here. Now you can simply do that with your middle mouse button, moving up and down. But you press delete, it'll just zoom in more for you, as you can see right there. So deselect it if you want. Now actually we're going to reselect it again. And now if you want to change the width or the length, you have to click outside of the shape and drag it. Now it will only drag it in a straight direction, so you can't curve like you can't make a curved wall with one shape unless you decide to mess around with the angles. But from this, what we have right here, it's only gonna, you stretch out the wall, it's gonna go in one straight direction. So click outside and you just drag it. So yeah, you can adjust the length right here. You want to change the width, click outside again from this side and then just pull it out. Now if you wanted to like change the height, just what you would need to do is change the angle of the camera, or the angle where you're looking at. So right now we're looking for a top down view. We gotta get to a side view. So we just simply press Control Tab and now we have a side view. Yet again, click on the outside and then drag it down. Now we can make it shorter or taller if you want. Now if you want to change the position of the object, so actually select it again, press Control Tab, go back to a top down view. So this is where your object is placed on the level, and the whole level is flat ground, so you don't worry about basic height at the moment. Now you can use the arrow that showed you to hold down the left mouse button and drag it, or you can drag it freely by just using this, because it does not have the feature where you can select the X and Y directions where it will, you can drag it along that level it's at, that Z axis on right now. It doesn't allow you to do that like how it does in Unreal. You can only move it in one straight down direction if you use the arrows, but you can move around freely just by clicking in the center of it using the left mouse button. Clicking the center of it and allow you to drag it along freely. So if you want to apply a texture onto your shape, you still have the whole thing selected. You want to apply texture. You have your texture tab right here. So right now it's set to all in use, so all the textures we have in use right now. We're going to click on all. We'll put on a brick texture. So right here, so we double click and apply the texture right to the object you had selected. Now, for example, if you didn't want the whole shape to have that texture on it, you only want a certain side of it to have that texture, simply hold down Shift, then Control, and click on the side of the shape, and only highlight that side. And there you can apply another texture a different texture if you want onto it. So now as you can see, we have a different texture on that side of the shape. So, in example, you wanted to, what's it called? You want to get a view of your level, but there's a certain object in your way. You don't want to just simply move it out because it's in a perfect spot. You just want to just move out of your way to have a perfect view. So what you simply do is just select the item. So shift and click on that object. Press H. That will hide your whatever you've selected. And you can do it to multiple things. So you can select that right there and there and there. Press H. You can all hide it. Now if you want, once you finally got that view you wanted for like a screenshot, all you have to do is, and you want to bring it back, press shift and then press H, hold shift and press H, and it'll bring back all the stuff you've hidden. And that is some of the basic controls that I've learned while using the engine, and those are more common controls I've used while designing my zombie map. And that is that is some of what I've learned, and that is it. Thank you very much.